All right, hey everyone, Jammer here from Jammer's Wrestling Magazine collection. I just want to do a little video here right now on something. I haven't talked about this much, I don't believe. And I would like to show them off right now because I really don't know another time when I will bring them up in anything. And that is back in the 80s, Sports Review Wrestling and The Wrestler would do annuals. They would kind of put their best stories from the magazines that came out that time frame into one. So I have a lot of these, and I thought what better time to show them than now because I really don't know when I would bring them up because there's nothing like overly special about them. Again, they're like the Wrestling USA or that style of magazine that took the best stories of that time frame and put it in one. So we start off with Sports Review Wrestling 1981 annual from winter of 81. We see Ken Patera, I'm sick of being the number one target on everybody's hit list. So again, these stories are from Sports Review Wrestling over maybe the year, maybe even longer than that. So they go through and they again, they talk about the story. There's the frustration that rips Pat Patterson apart and whatnot. Ken Patera, I'm sick of being the number one target on everybody's hit list and such. So, but they don't say where it was from. It's just from the Sports Review. I'm sure I could go through my Sports Review magazines and probably find it, right? The next one is from spring of 82 I have. It's got Harley Race on the cover here. Harley Race's plan to control wrestling, first Flair, then Backlund. He was planning on being a unified world champion, apparently. So there's Harley. And again, I could probably go through these, the sports reviews and find these stories, but I don't really want to do that because some of these magazines I probably don't have. So I don't know how far back these stories are going in these. This is summer of 82. Austin Idol begs the fans, force Ray Stevens to retire. There's the Crippler right there and Austin Idol. And of course, if you notice, they got these apartment wrestling stuff in here. That was a big hit. And you got Hulk Hogan at the top there with Sylvester Stallone for Rocky 3. But yeah, Apartment Living Wrestling, whatever it was called, big hit, of course. No shock there, right? 1982 annual, fall 82 for Sports Review Wrestling. We got the Sarge on the cover with the United States heavyweight title. It's former U.S. champ Sergeant Slaughter. They stole this belt from me. And how Ted DiBiase saved Dory Funk Jr., but only for one night. So there's that one there. Next up is Winter 82. We got Mr. Wrestling 2 versus the Masked Superstar, the Faceless feud. Of course, we know the Masked Superstar was Bill Eadie, Demolition Axe, Bob Backlund, my 5 toughest title matches are in there. And again, like I said, these are all from actual Sports Review Wrestling magazines that were out already. Spring 83, we got Superstar Billy Graham and Bob Backlund on the cover. That's when Billy Graham was a ninja. And we got the NWA Tag Champions Don Kernodle and Sergeant Slaughter. Will the chain of command break down? I thought it was interesting that Don Kernodle out of nowhere became tag team champion back then. I mean, the guy was with Boris Zhukov's character. What was his name? I can't remember it now. But they were like jobbers, right? They would just come out and lose on Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, and then all of a sudden Kernodle was like tag champion with Sergeant Slaughter in a tournament in Japan. Summer of 83, we get Bob Backlund versus Magnificent Morocco, clash of the WWF champions, and the AWA's top 10, how they rate against champion Nick Bockwinkel. Morocco was Intercontinental champ at the time, right? He made a great Intercontinental champ in the early 80s. Fall 83, we got, did Ric Flair order this hit squad to attack Tony Atlas? And we see Blood Brothers there, Bugsy and the Boogie Woogie Man. That's Bugsy McGraw and Jimmy Valiant, of course. Handsome Jimmy Valiant, as he would like to be called. This one, we got Winter 83, Sergeant Slaughter. I'll whip Angelo Moscow into shape. And I don't know if he did or not. And we got Abdullah the Butcher will never receive a world title shot. Well, I don't think Abby ever could. He was too much of a risk, right? He would go from territory to territory. We got spring of 84 now with Tommy Rich on the cover. Tommy Rich's special contest. Prove to me you're my biggest fan. And look at that picture, wildfire there. And then, of course, in summer of 84, we get Tommy Rich there. Tommy Rich picks the winner. So Tommy Rich did meet the fan, I guess. And a big night in Baltimore. Bruno Sammartino Jr. versus Larry Zbyszko plus 6 more sensational matches. So that's the NWA heading north. So yeah, Sports Review Wrestling. They stopped, I believe. That was the last one they did for that. Of course, The Wrestler went a little longer with this style. We got the Best of the Wrestler from spring of 81. There we see Dusty Rhodes and superstar Billy Graham in a bloody bull rope match in Madison Square Garden. We got fall of 81 with Ric Flair, Nobody Takes My Title and Lives. That's the United States Heavyweight Championship. Look how bloody Nature Boy is there. What a great shot of Flair being busted open and bloodied, just like Flair always was, right? Winter 81, we got superstar Billy Graham and Dusty Rhodes again on the cover in one of those bull rope matches from Madison Square Garden in New York. Yes, Dusty did go there a few times to wrestle for the WWF title, which, as we know now, is what Cody Rhodes is doing, right? Trying to finish the story. Spring of 82, is Tommy Rich as good as they say? And the injury Andre must keep secret. So there's Tommy. Spring 82, we got Ric Flair and Blackjack Mulligan on the cover, former NWA World Tag Team Champions together. The treachery that has made Ric Flair a killer, plus the mistake that almost cost Bob Orton Jr. his life. Who knows what that could have been? Find out in The Best of the Wrestler. Fall 82. Bob Backlund versus Nick Bockwinkel, the match that changed wrestling forever. That's AWA versus WWF there. No doubt. Maybe it was a title unification match. They always love to do those and never had a proper winner. Winter 82. Andre wins his 1,000th match, and that's Gene Anderson, who was probably only 23 years old there that Andre was kicking his ass. No, I'm just kidding. Gene was a lot younger than his age, a lot younger in age than his looks, right? Like Gene Anderson aged really, really fast, and probably the lifestyle he was living. Gagne and Brunzell, wrestling's youngest champions. They would be in the AWA at the time. Spring of 83, we got Putski versus Valentine. Why Ivan Putski had to do Dusty Rhodes' dirty work. So there's Putski taking out the hammer. Good cover shot there. You don't really see Putski much on the covers of the magazines, right? Spring 83. Letters to Larry Zbyszko. What you did is beyond forgiving. Who knows what that could have been. He did a lot of treacherous things after turning on Bruno Sammartino in 1980. So it was probably something horrible. Fall of 83, the Wrestler Annual now. See, it's no longer the Best of the Wrestlers. Now the Wrestler Annual. We got Dusty Rhodes swears revenge. Killer Khan must be destroyed. That must be happening down in Florida. Wrestling, of course. Winter 83. Why Ric Flair says Roddy Piper is too smart for his own good. And we got Andre the Giant versus Sergeant Slaughter. Why the WWF is determined to break Sergeant Slaughter. So the Sarge was back in the WWF here now and doing his thing there after leaving Mid-Atlantic. Spring 84. Harley Race, the long road back. Yes, was Harley Race going to win the world title again? He did. He did for a few days, I want to say, down in Australia, I think it was. And it was never even talked about. It was never... it wasn't talked about till many, many years later that match happened. Fall 84. Bedlam by the Bay. Hulk Hogan's Frisco battle with Nick Bockwinkel. Of course, the Hulkster's, I guess, still in the AWA here, which is weird because this is fall 84. But like I said, these are old stories, right? They put old stories in here. So Hogan was probably clearly he was WWF champion by this time. And we got Rick Steamboat versus Ric Flair, how the NWA belt strangled wrestling's greatest friendship. The Wrestler Annual, Winter 84. NWA champion Ric Flair versus Tommy Rich. Magnificent battle of the Golden Boys. Tommy Rich, a former world champ, only for a few days. Never did get that belt back, did he? The Wrestler Annual for Winter of 85. Hulk Hogan, I'm the man who finished Harley Race. That probably could be said in different ways there, Hogan. That doesn't sound right. But there it is. And we got Russia's master plan. American wrestlers are too soft to survive Nikita Koloff. 4, Spring 86, the amazing career of Hulk Hogan from rookie to champion. There he is with the WWF title. We got Ric Flair. Billy Jack has what it takes to be world champion, almost. And the days of blood and glory, the Road Warriors invade Japan. So now we're getting stars that we're familiar with, that we know of, we've seen on TV in the 80s. Southern champion Lex Luger outrun Barry Windham back to the WWF. This is fall 86, and we got Hulk Hogan destroys Mr. Fuji, 1 down, 4 to go. So Luger and Barry were feuding in Florida at the time for the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Wrestler Annual, Winter 86. For the love of Elizabeth, Randy Savage must beat Hulk Hogan. Hulk who, says the Macho Man. Plus, Ric Flair's race against time. Stop Nikita Koloff now or never. So yes, Randy Savage and the Hulkster were having some amazing title matches in late 85, early 86 for the WWF title at Madison Square Garden a lot. That's where, I think they had 3 matches in a row at the time. It was really good matches. Spring 87, warning to Hulk Hogan, if you trust Rowdy Roddy, you'll pay the piper. And we got, he bends but he won't break, Ric Flair cannot be beaten. And update on Jimmy Snuka, the Superfly will soar again. So Jimmy Snuka, I believe, was in the AWA at that time. For spring of 88, how far can Hulk Hogan carry his American dream? Plus, we demand Ric Flair must wrestle UWF champion Steve Williams now. That's because, they bought the UWF and you should only have one champion. But I don't think a unification match ever happened there. I think the UWF title kind of just disappeared and that was it. For summer of 88, we got Rick Rude. I am wrestling's sexiest superstar. I guess so. Okay, whatever. Nick Bockwinkel forces Hulk Hogan into exile and only the fans can bring him back. So there's an AWA story in 1988. So, I mean, incredible that they would put that in there, I guess. But like I said, all these stories are old. These are just old recycled stories that they'd put in this magazine. From winter of 88, full color bonus section, match by match coverage of SummerSlam 88. We got Hulkster, Macho, and Liz there. We got Demolition and the Hart Foundation, and Warrior winning the Intercontinental Championship. Plus at the top here, a special tribute to Adrian Adonis and Bruiser Brody. This one is spring of 89. Is Hulk Hogan afraid to be champion? Plus we got a special section, the brilliant career of Magnum TA in here. And Dusty Rhodes' painful admission, Ric Flair deserves the NWA belt, all on here. Interesting cover of the Hulkster there, too. He looks scared or something. And the last one I have here is summer of 89. It's the Steamboat Flair Wars from 78, 84, and 89. Rick Steamboat being NWA World Champion terrifies me. And, of course, that picture right there is from their Chi-Town Rumble 89 show in February of 89, where Steamboat won the NWA World Championship from Ric Flair. So there they are. That's them. That's Sports Review Wrestling and Annual and the Wrestler Annual. And again, like I said, these are just kind of like best ofs. Like if you missed out on a magazine years ago or a story in it, you're going to get it in these, right? So if you're a casual collector, you probably don't need these. If you're like me and you need to have every wrestling magazine from like 1980 through 2000, then you're going to want these. And I have them. I know there's still a few more I need to get, but they're kind of hard to find on the Canadian eBay. Again, that might have to be an American purchase down the road that I get off ebay.com. But all right, just a little video today showing these because I haven't really done a video lately. I have time right now to do so. I thought I would hit this up, show you these. I don't really know another time when I'll show them or talk about them. And I'd see I have like 154 subscribers now on my channel. So thank you everyone who took the time to subscribe and like and leave comments. I love it. I like responding with you guys. It's fun. Interacting and the banter and such. It's really cool. I'm glad this channel is bringing wrestling magazine fans together to discuss things. And, as an update, by the way, on the AEW figures I'm selling that I did the video for, I sold a bunch more, and I'm hoping that the rest will sell. We'll see what happens. It would be nice to get rid of them, just to get rid of all of them, and use that money for more magazines. So here's hoping that down the road that can happen. So yeah, thanks everyone for checking out this video and checking out my channel. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. And again, until I do another video, I'll talk to you guys later.